Esteemed audience, through time and space, disagreements have been known to disunite man.
But here on the Great Debaters Contest, we bring together over 500 schools on one debate platform to air out their ideologies the best way they can. To debate, I am your host, Chris Boru.
And I am Esperantia Kapanga. And today the motion on the table is, competition is superior to cooperation in achieving excellence. In the proposition, we have Gathirimu Girls High School.
In the opposition, we have the mighty boys from Thika High School. Proposal number 1, you have 3 minutes to make a statement.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Angela Ndwati from the Gathirimu Girls High School, here to strongly propose the motion that states competition is superior to cooperation in achieving excellence. So, what is competition? This is where people try to outdo each other in various ways, such as offering government services, in businesses so as to maximize profits, and also in sports, such as football matches, athletics, and also basketball matches. Cooperation, this is the act of coming together in order to achieve a common goal. To my first point, competition brings about benefits to consumers. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to take a scenario where industries and companies are competing each other in order to gain their position at the top and in order to achieve excellence. Through this, us as consumers get a benefit. I want to give an example between competition between Safaricom and Airtel. Due to this competition, I as a customer am able to transfer and send money with Safaricom services of 100 shillings for free. And I'm not stopping there. Also, Airtel gives me accessibility and the advantage to call from another Airtel line for free. Maybe most of you are not aware of what I'm saying because not all of us have been blessed with having a phone. So let me use another example. The Great Debaters Contest. This is where we come together and fight for us to gain a position, for us to get excellence. Competition enables us to become one. To my second point, it enables development. Through the years, industries, farms, and also stations have come together to fight for excellence. An example is the Royal Media Services that has been there for 51 years. Been there for 51 years, the failures, the achievements, it has been able to identify its weaknesses and its strength. Through this, the Royal Media Services have become the top award winning in the Kuza Awards, for they became the winners of 2019. Now that is what competition can lead, superb excellence. Competition also discourages exploitation. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to think of a monopoly firm. Let's say Kenya Power. Kenya Power has no competition. It's the only firm that gives you power. Lack of competition makes it easier to exploit people. Due to the fact that it's the only one that gives services, it takes advantage of it. Electricity being cut off and there's a complaint to Kenya Power, they'll take days to fix it. And their argument is, even if we don't, there won't be another place for you to go because we are the only one that can offer services. But if there was competition for the monopoly firm that is Kenya Power, then they will better our services. They'll better the services that they have in order to retain their position in the game. Thank you.
First proposal, you have 3 minutes to make a statement.
It's Rigandrin from Thika High School, a proud product. I am here to passionately disagree with the motion that states competition is superior to cooperation in achieving excellence. In fact, what inspires me most here is the diction in this statement. From Main Webster and Prince Stop Wordnet, it tells us that competition is the strive to gain or win by defeating or establishing superiority over others who are trying to do the same. Listen to this, it is striving and trying. Let's go to the next one, cooperation. It's working together for a common purpose or activity shared for mutual benefit. Here you're working together for mutual benefit. Both parties are benefiting. Excellence, it is possessing good qualities in high degree. That is what we are out for. During the April holidays, I had the opportunity to visit Japan, in my tours there. And I happened to visit the industries where they make these watches, which gladly I had the chance to purchase this expensive one that is on my arm right here. And when I observed how they really make these watches, they do it so cooperatively. There is the one who connects this circuit to that. There is the one who tells this person this and that. There is that cooperation that leads to sharing of ideas. Because this person A is good at this, person B is good at that. They come together, they share the ideas. And this is a product of cooperation. They were not competing that I am good at this, so I want to defeat this and this. They are not out for competition. They were cooperating. The Sustainable Development Goals number 17, which is partnership for goals, states its aim is to strengthen the means of implementation and reutilize global partnership. I mean, the SDGs themselves are supporting us because they are out to strengthen the means of implementation. They are encouraging cooperation. Another instance in Kenya is the Nakumatt supermarket crisis. We are aware of that. Nakumatt was a leading industry, a leading supermarket. It was out for competition. If you can remember very well, you would hear of Nakumatt, yes, I'm going for a world-class supermarket. But what happened? Not that I'm discriminating them, they went down. Reason being, they were out for competition. Competition makes one strive to become better than the other. You're trying to prove to your fellow friend that I am better than you. But what if they cooperated? Because right now, they have merged somewhere else with another company. What if they had cooperated? Because what made them really go down is maybe the financial crisis and the etc. If they had cooperated, and if they had come together with other supermarkets, they would have gotten that idea of, if I undergo this financial crisis, this is what you're supposed to do, and they would have moved on. And lastly, what also motivates me is our school anthem, which starts by saying, we are united to carry the banner. We are united. What if each student had their own goals, had their own initiatives of carrying this banner? The common goal is here. We want to achieve excellence, and we can only achieve excellence through cooperation. Thank you.
Second proposer, you have 3 minutes for cross-examination.
Becoming number one is easier than remaining number one. A quote from Bill Badley. I am Lispa Wangeshi, here to strongly propose the motion which states competition is superior to cooperation in achieving excellence. My first point is competition helps us in working smart and diligently. One cannot afford to work at a snail's pace when in a competition. Competition gives one the motivation of working smart towards achieving our goals. Take an example of a student in an academic competition. They have similar examination, and they have also a similar goal of achieving success. Okay, there is this student who has failed. This student, what he or she will do, will identify the strength and weakness to drive by the thirst to succeed and do better, and also implement strategies of improving and bearing the shame of failing, but broadly smiling at being the best. On to my next point is competition keeps one alert. Competition helps one focus on specific goals to achieve. An example is an athlete on the racing line, an athlete on the racing line with a specific goal of winning the race. His or her focus is based on the strategies he has applied to get to the finish line. I have a question. Have you ever heard of race cooperation? It does not even make sense. For basically, we say race competition. We know race competition. So, for the athlete to get to the finish line, to be awarded as the basic of the competition. Okay. To my opponents, I just want to tell you, just be real. Be real. I have a question. Have you ever been to that China or Japan, the way you said? Okay, yes. For the watch company, they cooperate, yes. But due to competition, that's why they have achieved excellence. Thank you.
Second opposer, you have 3 minutes for cross-examination.
A wise man once told me 3 things. He said, son, 2 heads are better than 1. An eye for an eye makes a blind nation. A tooth for a tooth makes a toothless nation. My name is Kelvin Kiari from Thika High School, and I'm here to strongly oppose the motion that says competition is superior to cooperation in achieving excellence. You see, competition creates monopoly, creates individualism. You forget that once you are competing with someone, all you want to do is outdo them. You don't actually want to work with them. You forget that not everyone knows everything. Each person has his own strengths and weaknesses. So you just stay with your own problems, but you don't realize that there's somebody else who has the results of what you need, what you require. Once people work together, you get to realize, you get to catch things together to solve problems. Cooperation ensures it. Once he gives me his opinions on how to solve a problem, I give him my strengths, he gives me his strengths. Together we acquire success. On to my second point. Competition creates disunity. Allow me to take you back to the colonial period. Communities in Kenya, good example, Maasai and the Nandi, they kept on fighting, they kept on competing for land, for cattle, for all those properties. And once the colonialists, the settlers arrived, instead of working together, these communities chose to work against each other. The Maasai joined the white man in resisting the Nandi. But what he didn't realize is that he himself lost independence. Them themselves lost their land. But what if they had decided to work together? What if they had decided to cooperate? Would Kenya have been colonized? Maybe they would have beaten the white settlers. They would have achieved their independence. Maybe they would have solved their quarrels. On to the proposers. Angela from Gathirimu said, corporations compete, and then once they compete, they benefit. Once they beat that person, like she gave us examples of Telkom and Safaricom, even the debate. But one thing you forget, even in these farms, even if they are competing against another one, there's still a great need of cooperation among those people working in that farm. Even here as we are debating, you need cooperation amongst yourselves even to compete with us. You can't start fighting against each other. You can't compete against each other and expect actually to outdo each other, yet you're striving for one goal. So you find yourself cooperating, and in that, you achieve the goal that you need. You achieve the success. Thank you. I rest my case.
The proposers have been asked, if a student focuses on just the competition aspect of schooling, doesn't that make them an educated fool? The opposers, on the other hand, have been asked, would they rather have cooperation and get low-quality goods and services, or have competition and attain high-quality goods and services? Proposer number 3, you have 3 minutes to respond.
Thank you, everyone. My name is Beverly Namuma from Gathirimu Girls, and I'm here to strongly propose the motion that states competition is superior to cooperation in achieving excellence. First of all, I would like to answer your question. Education competition helps you to strive, identify your weaknesses and your strengths. And by doing so, you're achieving excellence because you know that you have to get the top spot. You know that the cut line for joining university is at a C+. Do you want to tell me that you're going ahead and cooperate with a person who is much slower in getting things? to just bring about cooperation, or will you rather walk alone and reach to that university you want? And to my opponents, I would like to tell you that, why aren't you talking of destructive cooperation? Why are you only focusing on beneficial cooperation? A good example, back then in the 1939, when we were having the Second World War, Joseph Stalin, Adolf Hitler, and Emperor Hirohito, these are world dictators. They are world known. They came together and formed the Rome-Berlin-Tokyo Treaty, of which they were ready to destroy anyone who was coming in their way. So I would like to tell you that cooperation is also destructive. Another good example of a destructive cooperation is this. Look at the golden handshake. It has caused the opposition to lag behind. Nobody is ready to criticize our government. Reason being, corruption has risen. Reason being, because I don't want to really make my team angry. Raila, the opposition leader, has really quietened because of what? He shakes the hand of our leader, Uhuru Kenyatta. To my first point, I would like to tell you that competition creates awareness and market penetration. Back then, we were having only Facebook to use. But due to competition, we have emerged things like Instagram, ChatSpot, Snapchat. These things are really helping us. You are able to get better services. You are able to go for things that are really on your side. But I would like to tell you this. Cooperation without competition is futile. Cooperation without competition is futile. Remember, we have said that cooperation is coming together to achieve a common goal. It means that I have to lower my standards. There is no motive to what I want to get. So I prefer we opt for competition, because by that, we are able to encourage everybody to participate. We are able to encourage everyone to produce their level best. So let us work for competition and not cooperation. Thank you.
Third opposer, you have 3 minutes for cross-examination.
Thank you for this opportunity to strongly oppose this motion that states competition is far superior to cooperation in achieving excellence. First of all, I would like to respond to the quorum that has been posed by a member of the audience. He said that cooperation leads to production of low-quality substances and the competition leads to production of high-quality substances. Let me tell you, for one, if you share ideas and innovation and you have a lot of ideas and ways of solving problems and you discuss among yourselves, doesn't that lead to iron sharpening iron, steel sharpening steel? Does that lead to better steel? Doesn't that lead to better iron? We have this question to ask. How can a man sharpen himself? How can you scratch yourself on the back? How can you pat yourself on the back after having done something good? It is not possible. It is not possible, as no man can achieve anything by themselves. You tell me that a man has no monopoly of knowledge. No man has a monopoly of knowledge. No man knows the infinite. No man knows infinite. So you can't tell me that one man will know everything, will do everything, and therefore will produce the best quality of everything. And the guys who are working together will share ideas. They will share experiences from their own past experiences. They will share everything that they have learned over their lifetimes together, and they will achieve whatever they would have wanted. And so you can't. I would like to rebate what the previous speaker has just said. He said that there is destructive cooperation. Destructive cooperation does not exist because the people who are cooperating in the first place had a disagreement. It exists because the people who are competing, they decided to disinclude the people who had different ideas compared to what they had agreed on. So these people they compete with each other, they compete, they fight, they struggle, they stamp on each other they stamp on each other's face on the head, they step on each other just to get to the top. You get to the top, yes, but what have you achieved? What have you done that is of purpose? Have you ruined a fellow man's life just to get to the top? Have you done everything just to get to the top? Have you destroyed people? And no man is an island. So you can't tell me that one man can do everything. One man can achieve everything. One man can be everything. So we were told that the handshake has led to, the golden handshake of March 9, 2018 has led to destructive effects. Let me tell you, 2 hours after that handshake, the value of the Kenyan shilling rose, such that compared to the US dollar, it traded at 104 it traded from 104 shillings per dollar to 100 shillings per dollar. And this was consistent for 6 months as the value of the shilling rose. You can't, the handshake has led to more development of the infrastructure, more development of our country, our economy. Our country was previously declared a no-go zone. Goods being imported were taking a long time to get in because the people at the ports and the people from the foreign countries disagree with Kenya. They say that Kenya is not a peaceful place. Kenya is in too much competition. Kenya might destroy itself. So the people refused to trade with Kenya. Then, immediately the handshake was done. It only took about 3 months for the goods to be coming in. This is the source from the Standard newspaper that said the amount of import and the amount of tourists getting into Kenya have increased since the time of the Golden Handshake. And this was the newspaper report of April 10th, 2018. So you can't tell me that the handshake of March 9th, on April 10th, its effect was already felt. And in such a short period of time. So the cooperation is really superior to competition. And don't lie to us, please. Please don't lie. Don't fool us that each of us working individually would achieve more than each of us working together. Thank you.
Proposers, you have 1 minute to make a final submission.
It is very sad that today here, my opponent is really calling me a liar. But anyway, you are entitled to your opinion, and I do not object that. But to come to an end with this, I will tell you one thing. A horse runs faster when it knows the other horses are following up. And in the end, the quickest horse is the one to emerge the winner. My opponent, I would like to tell you this, that we are talking about cooperation, working towards a common goal. Bringing people of different ideas, I don't rebuke that. But basically, this is really not logic. As we started the debate, our host said one thing, the big school, Thika High. Why have you been termed as the big school? Reason being because your performance in KCSE is better. And why do you perform well in KCSE in the first place? Because you were shown by your teachers there is competition. People are fighting to get that spot. And that's why you have been termed as the biggest school in Kiambu County. Please, 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 don't tell us that competition is bringing us behind. It is really helping you, and it has benefited you. Thank you.
Opposers, you have 1 minute to make a final submission.
Thank you once again. I appreciate for this opportunity. Just to mention one thing, Thika High School has been a great school because of cooperation. Come and benchmark one day, you will see our programs. We cooperate, we move from here to this place through cooperation. And inspired by nature, look at symbiosis for those who take biology. The bird that lands on the cow there, it feeds on those sticks that affect the cow. They are cooperating. And at the end, both organisms mutually benefit from that cooperation. In short and in conclusion, let us agree on cooperation, because it is cooperation that gives us excellence. And not only excellence, in fact, it will help you maintain that excellence. Because if you are competing, you will have to have all those resources, you will have to be at that high point there. What if you fall short? Because circumstances at times, they fall short of us. You'll be able to be topped up by if you are cooperating in a given system. That is all we have to say. Thank you.
To Gathirimu girls, let me start with Angela. I think your definition was good for your team. You're a very good speaker and good examples. For example, you talked about the telcos, the Safaricom, Airtel, and the likes. I wish you went down, not just to speak about the 100 bob, we went down to the fact that because of competition, that prices have gone down and we're still getting quality and all those kind of things. And just bring it to the reality on the ground that we face. That could have been much more better. Lispa, good submissions as well in terms of cross-examination as well. That was very good. What you need to work on though is just a bit of your delivery, because this is a persuasion game, okay? So you don't want to appear as if you're reading too much. You want to really connect with the audience as well, so that we can see that you've mastered that topic. Bev, cooperation without competition is futile. I think towards the ending, especially your ending remarks were so powerful. We love them, okay? I wish the same energy towards the ending was the same one when you came to give your submissions. But nonetheless, that was fair on your end. Very good ending as well.
Thika High School, Regan, your example of your school anthem at the end was nice. And you told us that your anthem talks about you, all of you coming together to carry this one thing. Then Kevin, I just want you to work more on your conviction when you're speaking, because sometimes we could lose you and we could not understand what you're saying, so work on that. And then Kennedy, you spoke about morals and said no man is an island, then really showed why the golden handshake in Kenya was good and rebutted the other side's points. So all the best to both teams.
Is competition superior to cooperation in achieving excellence? Well, the judges have decided. Gathirimu girls, the judges awarded you 66%. Let's give them a round of applause. Thika High School, the judges awarded you 67%, making you the winners of this debate. Let's give them a round of applause. Congratulations to both teams for giving us a good debate.
Indeed, it has been a great debate, and now the conversation continues across all our social media platforms. The hashtag is GDC for SDGs. Thank you to the participating schools and the principals and even the students for having the courage to stand on this stage. I have been your host, Esperanza Kapanga.
Until next time, I am Chris Boru.